champions, Manchester United.
It's now 6 in 8 years, Manchester United, simply the best once again. It's written in the skies, a championship celebration at Old Trafford. United, they're the talk of the world, from Burnage to Brooklyn. Featuring Scholes the Goals, an in-depth look at the man who's conducted his very own goal of the season competition. Our A to Z reaches S for the shot stopper.
A wonderful save by Schmeichel.
The competition to replace him is getting hotter than ever. World Cup winner Fabian Barthez signs on for a cool $8 million, but the current number one is looking to stay there.
And that's not a problem. They can bring whoever they want to. I'll put myself up against anybody, and I'll fight like I've fought this season.
It's 10 glorious years at Old Trafford for Denis Irwin, a testimonial just round the corner for the most decorated player of his generation.
Denis is brilliant. He's outstanding. You couldn't wish for a better professional. He really is. He don't get enough credit for what he does.
Getting all the credit he deserves is Captain Keane. Roy, the double Footballer of the Year. It's another winning season for the team that are head and shoulders above everybody else. Manchester United, it really is a religion. We kick off with a brand new look for Beck's at Filbert Street. The focus on the follicles, or lack of them. The papers had their picture even before kick-off. David wanted to make sure they got an even better snap.
Another chance for Beckham. Oh, Flowers didn't see that at all. Careful not to cut the fingers. Leicester City won't be very pleased with that. The ball was all over the place, and it didn't do its covering job on that side. And Flowers seeing the ball bounce past him just inside the post. Nicely done by Giggs. Owen. That's a good save by Flowers. Scholes. They gave him the room for the shot. Giggs again. Savage trying to get to him. And this is Dwight York. And Alex Ferguson can relax. And 3 points are undoubtedly Manchester United's. Super stuff from Giggs. And Flowers got a hand to it, but couldn't deny Dwight York.
And what head lines? It's fashion and football intertwined. Everybody had their say on the new look. How would the PM, the Prince and the pop star look?
As much as we didn't, take as much Mickey out of Becks with his haircut, it was good. And I thought it wasn't a horrendous haircut by any means or form, but it was good for the lads and good banter.
Give us an idea of what was said. Come on, there must have been something.
No.
Come on.
Not really. No, Becks is just, he looks a little bit like Brooklyn. That's what the show with no hair on. But no, I mean, it wasn't an outrageous haircut by any means, but it's just a bit different to see him with all his hair off his head. But saying that, he does what he does best on the football pitch, and which produce for us every week.
Manchester United's return to the country in which they won the European Cup. A triumphant return in that they've already qualified for the last day, but they don't want to go back to Barcelona just yet. So winning this group is the new priority for tonight. Gerrard with a header inside his own half of the field, and Carboni racing forward, and nobody to help Gary Neville on that side. And here's some space for Keely Gonzalez, and Bosnich made a decent save, but was favoured really by the bounce. Fortune, Keane, but Solskjaer letting it run for Sheringham. This is interesting. Quinton Fortune on the ball. Scholes has made a great run into the box. It's Sheringham! Good save by Canizares. A really good move by Manchester United. The first time they've really clicked tonight. Won by Scholes. Up to Sheringham. Tangling with Jukic and Carboni and emerging with the ball, Teddy Sheringham. In towards Oli Solskjaer. Oh. Well, you knew he would hit the target. What he didn't do there was make the kind of clean contact which would have defeated Santiago Canizares. Irwin. Sheringham. Scholes has made a good run beyond the ball and Solskjaer's found it. Paul Scholes, only Pellegrino back. But he shot away, deflected and side netting. And that little touch from Pellegrino may just have been the difference between that going in and by. Carboni. Kini Gonzalez again. Now the ball to run cleverly. Played Claudio Lopez in. Good cross towards Angulo. Not back towards Juan Sanchez. But did just enough. Fortune did just enough. Got a foot on the ball. Irwin away. Ongramar drives it back in. Oh, hit the post! And it came out at such a velocity that Juan Sanchez couldn't reach it. Stunning shot by Jocelyn Ongramar. Let off for Manchester United.
The second half finished in a stroll for the two sides, a draw good enough to send both Valencia and United into the quarter-finals. The point was still vital because it meant the Reds had topped their group, thus avoiding Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Lazio. It was now just the small matter of Real Madrid, 7 times European champions. At this stage, though, nothing's easy.
Cole to Neville. And Cole's facing up again here. Hanging on and then finding Beckham. And there's plenty in there here for him to aim at. Scholes with the flick on. York! Oh, and Matt Clark. A very good last-ditch save from Dwight York by the Bradford goalkeeper right on the half hour. Dwight York is coming in. Oh, that's a goal for Manchester United. Dwight York, the scorer. 37 minutes. And nothing more simple than this. A Beckham corner. 3 defenders are there around him, but he gets the header in with power. And this is Neville now. Oh, York's there again. Goalkeeper and then the post. Well, it could have been 2 in 2 minutes. And I've got a feeling Matt Clark got fingers to this before it hits the post. It's Dwight York. That's a very good save. Everybody's coming at them now in a blue shirt. This is Beckham to York. And Dwight York is causing all sorts of trouble here. And has he made it 2? Cole went in to make sure, but Dwight York will surely claim it again. A couple of minutes after putting Manchester United into the lead, here he is. Didn't play it the first time, got it back off Giggs, scooped it over Matt Clark, and that's over the line, I would have thought, before Andy Cole made contact. It's Gary Neville who intercepted that pass from Wayne Jacobs. York and Cole are both taking up threatening positions. This is Beckham. Giggs is also in the penalty area here. Oh, Neville! Gary Neville doesn't get many, but he might have made it 3-0 there. He started the move. It's hard and true. You won't see a better one than this. A corner pulled deliberately back by David Beckham and from 20... This is Giggs. It's a turn with Phil Neville going down the outside. A lot of players coming in from the right-hand flank. Here's Cole. This is Beckham. Oh, it's 4. David Beckham takes the score to where it was at Old Trafford on Boxing Day. Manchester United 4, Bradford City 0, and this was almost too easy. Oh, that's good play by Peter Beagrie. Very clever. Oh, what a good save by Mark Bosnich. Called into that sort of action for the first time in the 86th minute. He produces a very, very good stopper, but this was the best moment of the day for Bradford. Really good skill on the ball by Beagrie.
For anybody following Schmeichel, it wasn't going to be easy. There's been constant speculation surrounding the number one spot. It's clear other clubs do covet Bosnich, but the Aussie star has made it clear he's here to stay.
What have you learnt from the very first day you came through the door at Manchester United?
That winning's everything. Simple as that. There are certain standards here that you have to adhere to, and if you don't, you can run into a few problems.
Were you falling short of them?
Perhaps when I came back, fitness-wise, with having 5 months out last season due to a shoulder injury, it was always going to be difficult to pick up. As you know, you can ask anyone with serious injuries, Robbie Fowler, I suppose, Alan Shearer, the ones that come to mind, that it does take a while to pick up your rhythm back. But since I've been fit, I think my statistics and my performances speak for themselves. They don't lie.
Were you a bit overweight, Mark?
2 pounds. That's pretty much normal when you come back.
How much has your character changed since you've been at the club? Because watching you closely, you seem to have lost maybe a little bit of that brashness.
I don't know, but that's for other people to comment. If you've noticed that, then fair enough. But it's a serious business here. You know, I can't really afford to mess around too much because you get your wings clipped. In the end, I've come away with 2 trophies. One which is the bread and butter, the most important one, and the other that no British team has ever won before. So, you know, at the end of the season, you've got to look towards that and say you've been a winner.
So I've got pictures of you, 10, 12 years ago when you were at Manchester United. It's changed a bit since then, hasn't it?
Yeah, the hair has.
And how about the club's ethos? How has that changed in the last 10 years?
I don't think the ethos has changed that much. The ethos was always set from the man from the top, and like I said, I was here, you know, when he was just beginning his time, and you know, it's really win or bust here. You know, we're expected to win everything, and you know, that's what I was working towards, and that's why I wanted so desperately to come back, and that's why I won't be going anywhere.
I think it is accepted that Massimo Taibbi's not coming back to the club, so a new goalkeeper is invariably going to join. How do you feel about that?
And that's not a problem. They can bring whoever they want to. I'll put myself up against anybody, and I'll fight like I've fought this season. And we saw what happened this season when, you know, when I had the challenge, I saw it off. So, you know, that's the manager's prerogative. Whoever he wants to bring knows he's going to have the fight of his life on his hands, because, you know, I went through quite a lot to come to this club. It's because of the club I wanted to come to. So, whoever wants to come, like I said, number one, he'll have to fight for his life, and number two, you know, we've won the championship and the World Intercontinental Cup this season. So, you know, if people want to turn around and say it's been an average season, I'll take that every year.
The competition arrived in the £8 million figure of Fabien Barthez, the colourful Frenchman who's such a folk hero in his own country. A World Cup winner who United have seen at close quarters. He captained Monaco when the two sides met in Europe a couple of years ago.
I'm so happy to sign here for 6 years. I'm sorry for my English, it's not perfect. I hope after 6 years it's better. But for me, Manchester, it's a big club in the world. Big club, big team, and I'm come to play here with Monaco, and I see a very nice public, very important, all the match. I see on the TV, and for player it's fantastic.
Well, I think he's renowned to be probably the best keeper, and if you look at his credentials, I mean, championship medals with Monaco in '97 and 2000, French World Cup winners medal in '98, and a Champions League medal with Marseille. So his credentials are big. He's a big character, and he's used to playing on a big stage, which is what Manchester United is.
Will you be number one?
I hope so, yeah.
Passports at the ready, Madrid the destination, Viva España. The King was in town to say hello, and as ever, his timing was spot on.
This is the most important night of the year, quiz night. From the quiz with John Peters.
Yeah?
Aye.
Tony quiz.
What motor racing team is named after India's sacred
Ducati.
Arrow.
Kawasaki.
Jacqueline.
Yamaha. Marlboro. Ferrari. Lotus.
Anything can happen. As long as we play as well as we have been doing, we'll tear them apart.
If we can win 7-1 without Giggs, then Real Madrid may as well stay in their beds.
2-0.
1-2. Jork and Scholes.
4-0. 4-0.
2 of Savio, 1 Morientes and 1 Raúl.
Rapel.
I'll say it'll be a very tight game and it could be a draw.
Has the final say. It was York who was just offside.
Everyone was saying what a great result it was, 0-0, but you've got to score goals away from home nowadays in Europe to have any chance of winning, because teams probably play better away from home than they do at home. There's more pressure on you at home, and we felt that coming back to Old Trafford that we probably lost the tie out in Madrid.
Ryan Giggs here for Manchester United. That's a dangerous ball, and surely, well, I was about to say surely, will produce a goal for Dwight York. Despite the fact that he was only 7 yards out, somehow Schwarzer saved.
Alan, it's got to go down as a good save from Schwarzer, but he should have been allowed to make the save. Really, Dwight York should have scored, but I think also credit must be given to Fester, who got in a good tackle.
Chance for Campbell! Middlesbrough in front! 19 minutes gone! And this fairy tale for Andy Campbell just won't finish. Bosnich hesitated! And it proved fatal! Hamilton Ricard has scored! But wait! The referee has disallowed it!
Well, he gives it for a foul by Hamilton Ricard, but what's wrong with that?
Giggs finds the net, and Manchester United are level within a minute of the restart.
What a start to the second half for United.
And how frustrating for Brian Robson, the Middlesbrough manager, who must have been so pleased that his team held on under so much pressure at the end of the first half. He's had that 10 minutes or so to sort them out during the half-time interval, but he might find them going 2-1 down. It was within a whisker of being just that. Andy Cole. Clever little ball over the top. So clever that even Giggs was caught by surprise, but not the second time he wasn't. Well, that was a strange incident. York finds Beckham. Oh, brilliant. Andy Cole in a perfect position. Manchester United turn a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead. Less than an hour gone. Brilliant ball by Beckham, and Cole's finishing this time. It was bang on. Scholes! Well, I think he's got a personal claim on the Goal of the Season award, hasn't he, Paul Scholes? He's certainly got a couple of fantastic candidates for that title, and there's another.
Well, look at the reaction of the United players. 10 outfield players, or 9 I should say, have all come to congratulate Scholes. Only Bosnich is the one who stayed in his goal. And what a fantastic strike that is. Absolutely unstoppable. You won't see a finer goal than that.
Bosnich missed that one completely. Oh, incredible. Cleared right
right off the line to deny young Campbell another goal. Now Bosnich again. And he won't get away with it this time. Paul Ince against his old club. Manchester United have got to start working hard again now. Mickey Butt. Look how many men they've got forward here. Offside. It's got to be offside. No, it's not been given offside.
Oh, I can't believe it.
And the Middlesbrough players are understandably furious and almost as one surround the linesman. I must say, like you, my instant reaction was that that was offside.
Let's have a look at it. It looks to me clearly offside. But hang on a minute. He's got it right.
A lovely bit of skill by Juninho and a good effort. Oh! What a great goal. A bit of Brazilian magic. It might not have much impact on the outcome, but it was a goal to savour.
Put 3 goals past the champions and come away with nothing. What do you think?
Well, that's why they've scored about 80 goals or something this season, isn't it? Because that's what they're like. You know, I think United this year have got a few frailties at the back, and that's why I went more of an attacking option. But trying to contain their strike force is something very difficult to do.
Scholes' goal was fantastic. You know, you can't do nothing about that. You know, people say, well, maybe we should have closed him down, but you know, he's 30 yards out, whatever it was, and you know, that's unstoppable.
Scholes has scored some great goals this season. I think the one against Bradford.
You know, you can only just stand and applaud that type of thing, and you know, it's just nice to know that I'm on his side and not on the receiving end.
He hit it first time. It was perfect.
Nobody thought he could better the one he scored against Bradford, but he did at Middlesbrough.
Until you see it on TV, you don't realise how sweet he hit it. And when they've got the camera angle behind the goals, it just bends right into the top corner.
The hardest balls to hit, the ball coming across you. But he put so much power and a little bit of bend on it. Unstoppable.
Just the last couple of months really, when most things I've seemed to hit have gone in. I don't know what that is. I think just the run you go on, it's just you hit a purple patch and that's it. You can hit a good shot, it could go just wide, and then you can hit another one in the stand, and then you know 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10 or something when I go in the top corner.
Great technique and balance and power, timing really. There's no back lifting, he just wallops it, and he's got great movement on the ball.
His technique is something that's hard to find. The way he swerves the ball and dips the ball, and keepers have a big problem with that.
It's one of those natural things. Even as a youngster, Paul Scholes had the ability to time a ball sweetly with either foot. He's never been afraid to have a go from distance, and the power he generates is frightening.
When I was a kid, I always liked to score goals, that's it, and do shoot, and I can't really remember if I was kicking a ball against the wall or anything. I just went on the local field and and had shots and stuff like that really.
It's really just repetition, and it's really having the courage and in your own ability to actually try them things. That's one thing that Scholes has got. He's never afraid in a game to try things, and that's the beauty of him really, is that he's unexpected. You don't know what Scholes is going to do next.
Only as far as Scholes. Oh, extravagant!
I don't think there's a proper way to do it. As long as you hit it, who cares which way you do it. A lot of people have different techniques, and I don't think there's a correct way.
Like I said, as long as you hit it and you hit it well, then it doesn't matter how you do it. You need to keep your head over the ball, yeah, and make sure you hit through the ball for to get as much power as you can, and hopefully that'll come off. I think you do have to try and go for corners as well so the keeper ain't got a chance really.
From Paul Scholes. Scholes! Well, I think he's got a personal claim on the Goal of the Season award, hasn't he, Paul Scholes? He's certainly got a couple of fantastic candidates for that title, and there's another.
He's a great little competitor. Got great vision, great awareness, great touch. He's aggressive, he's good in the tackle. His all-round game is pretty excellent, and I believe Scholes can go on and become one of the great players, one of the great English players. And some of the things he does on a field and what I see in training is phenomenal.
The development of the West Stand will be completed for the start of the new season, the ground capacity up to a staggering 67,000. It was Sunderland's turn to feel the heat meanwhile, as the Reds' strike force went into overdrive.
Booted forward by Scholes. Oh, and it's a short back pass by Williams. Solskjaer is in, it's a gift for Manchester United. And Solskjaer doesn't pass it up. The celebrations for Solskjaer, the consolations for poor Williams here, who got that wrong. Goalkeeper couldn't bail him out. And Solskjaer with the composure to wrong foot the culprit for Sunderland. And stroke in the opening goal, and Manchester United are quickly on the move here, on a run here with Williams. Great play by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, glorious goal on the counter-attack from Manchester United and from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Sheringham, Beckham's first involvement. No wonder Sheringham looks for the cross. Solskjaer is there to tee up Nicky Butt. Brilliant work from Butt. Manchester United lead by 3-0. The 3 points today surely secured. The new Premiership scoring record is theirs. 83 goals in the league this season. Well, you have to feel a little bit sorry for Sunderland. They've contributed quite a lot to the entertainment here today, but they're in danger of being on the wrong end of an emphatic scoreline. It's Henning Berg! It's 4. And the goals keep on flowing for Manchester United. Beckham, Gary Neville. Oh, and but for Sorensen it would have been 5. From a player who's only ever scored twice in almost 250 games in the senior team. Quinn. He's not juggled Sylvester and almost deceived Van der Hout. It was a top-class effort from Niall Quinn. That's a beautifully disguised ball from Beckham to Solskjaer. Well, that would have been the perfect way to complete a hat-trick. Simply splendid from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and from Thomas Sorensen.
This side are playing at the moment with a confidence and a swagger, arrogance, which I love. I mean, I've got to say, I enjoy watching them, and they're very, very difficult to play against. You've got threats all over the pitch.
How do you compare this with last year, Ole?
Compared to last year, it's very difficult to do. Last year there was something special about last season, but this year I think we've got a better team this year. So
really, that's quite a statement.
We're playing very well this year, and like the difference from us to Liverpool, it says quite a lot.
One of those nights when the little break that went with United last season failed to appear again. Roy Keane's own goal was so unfortunate and so untypical. Once again, the captain has been outstanding this season. Roy Keane, everyone's Player of the Year.
Player of the Year
Player of the century, Roy Keane. Never been a player like him. Best player in the world. Never be another winner like him.
Never has any bad games, and scores so many important goals and puts in so many great performances.
It's the heart and soul of the team.
Keane has always been that sort of inspiring player which, you know, the fans love, the players love, and the manager loves, and that's the way, you know, we all feel.
I dare say there's more skillful players, but I think everybody in the bloody country would want him in his team, wouldn't they?
One season he was out injured, we didn't win a trophy, and last year we won the treble, and this year we win the Premiership with don't know how many points, but just have a thought about it.
And the winner of the Player of the Year 2000 of the team Manchester United and of the Republic of Ireland, Roy Keane.
He was voted the Football Writers' Player of the Year on Saturday. This time it's his fellow professionals who voted him the best. The heartbeat of Manchester United for so many years, he's been inspirational in leading them to the Premiership title in record time this season.
Roy Keane, a man on a mission.
For Roy Keane.
Roy Keane, very much a man of Manchester United. Focus is total. It's worth today, it seems. Priceless for Manchester United. Well, he's got a fantastic contract. That's because he's a fantastic player. You're a fiery lad, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just wondered if you had a thought on the new 10-yard rule next season. You're going to have a think about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, OK, no European Cup, but apart from that, it's yet another big year for trophies and a big year for Roy Keane and trophies. But this one is from your fellow professionals. Is that special to you?
Yeah, of course it's special. I'm very surprised. I got a shock when I won the Riders one. Probably have a bigger shock tonight. To get off my fellow professionals, because the players who were all been nominated all had a good chance of winning. And it's just fortunate, and it was me this year. And I'd like to thank again all the fellow professionals who voted for me, even the ones who didn't.
You set the standard for the rest. That's why you've won it.
Many felt he should have won it last year. No doubt the recognition this time round is thoroughly deserved. A draw in the Merseyside derby meant that Roy Keane could pick up the season's major silverware with victory at Southampton the following day. This time at the Dell, there was no messing around.
Goes back on the post, but it's a brilliant goal from Beckham. Well, maybe the party has started at the Dell. We're only in the 8th minute. Southampton obviously had some theories about how to deal with this, but the fact is Beckham went to the goalkeeper's side and Moss couldn't keep it out. Neville's been allowed to go a long way here. It's 2-0, it's 1-0. Bernali. We still haven't had 15 minutes yet. The last touch of Southampton's number 15. But where was the challenge on Neville in the first place? Philip Neville trying to play it across for Solskjaer, and Bernali could only angle it into his own net. Solskjaer will get to this one. Oh, and it's touched over the goal, the frame of the goal by Neil Moss, back by Butt, in goes goal. It's a very fine stop by the Southampton goalkeeper. Solskjaer got the better of Benali, really drilled the shot in. Complacency can get the better of them today. No sign of that as yet. Solskjaer picked out by Beckham. It's 3-0. Complacency. That couldn't be further from the truth. Hunger, desire, class. Champions. Manchester United. Pahas. Those little darting runs from him. On goes Pahas. Southampton have got a lot of players in the centre. And Tessum can't score. Sylvester hoists it high, met by Cashlul. Marvellous run by Marion Pahas. Oh, and it's Beckham's corner. Nearly went straight in. Keane. Trying to get himself a Manchester United goal. Maybe depriving York. Pahas. Oh, Pahas cutting Manchester United apart and scoring a wonderful individual goal. Manchester United retain the championship. Under Sir Alec Ferguson, they maintain their domestic domination. It's a 6th Premiership prize in 8 seasons. This year no one has come close in the end to sustaining a challenge. They're champions with 4 games still to play. In the league they have sprinted away from the opposition. And they can take their bows here. Manchester United are the first champions of the new millennium. And they have galloped away with it.
Isn't the achievement greater because you had the treble last year? I mean, in some walks of life, the appetite would go after that.
Well, that's what pleases me, that they've left it all behind them. It was never discussed in pre-season what we had achieved last year. The players have taken the spurt of winning these things and gone on to better things. We've not won what we won last year, but these are special years. It only comes once in a lifetime. I've been very proud of them this year. They've been absolutely marvellous. The goals they've scored, the manner in which have gone about the adversity and times they've had them has been absolutely tremendous by them.
They're a class above everything else in the division at this moment in time. I still think personally that they're the best team in Europe.
It gets better every time because it gets harder every time. I mean, even though we galloped away with it this year, it's still tough with the chasing pack that you see. They're all close together, and it's going to be even harder next year.
It's 10 glorious years at Manchester United for Denis Irwin. To spend so long at one club is almost unheard of in the modern game, but to achieve so much in that time is without precedent. It began with the Cup Winners' Cup in '91, and it's gone on from there. The Irish fullback has become the most decorated player of his generation.
He's outstanding. You couldn't wish for a better professional. He really is. He don't get enough credit for what he does.
Irwin, who takes it right-footed. Oh, what a magnificent goal!
He's always there, Mr. Reliable. 10 out of 10 every week for him.
Denis Irwin, so often Manchester United's Mr. Reliable. See what I mean?
Worth his weight in gold. Just a bit of a pity really that he's like, what is he now, 32, 33? You couldn't buy a class like that.
Man who began his career, of course, at Leeds United, played around 80-odd games for them in 3 seasons before moving on to Oldham and then to Old Trafford.
Owen, it's 3! And everything they hit ends up in the back of the net.
I wasn't even playing in the Leeds side, you know, when Billy Bremner let me go. It would have looked bleak, you know, I could have been back playing hurling or something like that and working behind the bar or something like that, but Somebody's always, you need a bit of luck, there's no doubt about that, and Oldham at the time needed a full back. Joe Royal, he was there then, he was there. And really, I think it was him and Willie Donachie that picked me up and got me going again. Of course, 1989, 1990, we had 2 great cup runs, obviously in the Littlewoods Cup, we got beat in the final against Forest, and the semi-final of the FA Cup where we got beat against United.
Irwin. Redfern got away. It's good cross. Marshall! What an unbelievable day this is.
I think we should have beat you in the first game. I mean, it was amazing that day because I think Liverpool got beat 4-3 at Palace, and you know, I think we were the second game and finished 3-3, and really there could be more goals in it. And I remember the replay as well, because we were, to be honest, we were shattered at the time because we played that many matches. I think Nick Henry scored a goal that was not given. I think bounced over the line, wasn't given, but it just wasn't going to be our day. And of course, United have gone on from there. Blessing in disguise, really.
Robbins!
In many ways, it was the springboard for the decade of dominance. It was also a party that Denis was about to join. Nobody can match his level of consistency, but his game is so much more than that. Tremendous ability, tremendous attitude, tremendous modesty. What a career it's been.
You never get flustered, you know, I get my head down and play away. Obviously you get the more exciting players on the team, the Giggsies and the Becks and the Coleys and that, but I think if you look at any winning side, title winning side, a cup winning side, you'll always have a few players who'll battle away.
He never gets flustered.
Full-backs will never get the recognition they deserve anyway, I suppose, but really we're just part players. I think, you know, you always get the structured team right down the middle, the likes of Yap and Keeney and the 2 front players, and I think we just work off them really.
Pressure cooker stuff, and yet again Denis is the coolest man on the pitch.
When we played Liverpool in 1990-91 season, I think John Barnes was a player who was at his peak. I think he had everything for a left winger. He had pace, he was strong, good in the air, could dribble and could pass the ball and score. And I think without doubt, he is, for me, the best player I've played against. A few penalties, plenty of free kicks, 1 or 2 shots from outside the box, but the thing that was different for me was the goal against Wimbledon in the Cup where we beat them 3-0. Knocked about 30 passes together, and I played a couple of 1-2s, went around a couple of players and slotted in the corner, which is unusual for me. It's a goal I'll never score again, I knew that straight away. 94 was a great side. The first year we won the double, you know, a lot of strong characters in there. A lot of great players, but I think as an overall team and squad, I think this is definitely, you know, the best now since I've been here, and I think it'll only get better as well, because if you look at the age of some players there, 26, 25, 26, I think, you know, players only reached their peak at 28. I think it's definitely looking well for over the next few years anyway.
We didn't cost a lot of money. He never lets the team down. He's 100% every week. He doesn't get injured very often. Doesn't get booked or sent off very often. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's been a really great servant to Man United, and I hope he gets a decent testimonial at the end of it all.
Of that there's no doubt. Joe Royal will bring Manchester's other Premier League club to Old Trafford to celebrate Denis's special day. The first derby in almost 5 years, at the start of yet another season.
I thought this year might have been my last, to be honest, when I signed it last year, but you just keep playing, keep thinking, oh, this could be my last year, and it spurs you on.
And what are you going to do when you leave?
Couldn't tell you. I ain't got the faintest. I haven't got the foggiest. I'm gonna when I do leave this club, I'll probably take a coaching badge, you know, when I get a bit more time, and take it from there really.
The Dutchman Ruud van Nistelrooy was hoping to start a Manchester United career when he arrived at Old Trafford to complete registration formalities before the game with Chelsea. No wonder he wanted to be part of all this. A victory parade for the fans to enjoy, with the title already won with still 4 games to go. Sportingly, the Blues formed a guard of honour to greet the champions' arrival.
Here's Milchot, newcomer to most of us, and a decent cross over Neville's head. Zola took it well. Difficult ball, bouncing up near his chin. And back into flow! Oh, what a good save! Chelsea, although they have fallen away, have only lost once in their last 18 Premiership games. That was their recent defeat at Sheffield Wednesday, and they're in trouble here. And Ed Mahoy has been made to pay for his indecision, and Dwight York gets probably his most unusual goal of the season. Manchester United, the champions, are in front.
It is a ridiculous pass. How often defenders put the goalkeeper in trouble, I don't know. But this one had to be dealt with in one. He was never going to get 2 touches on it. When York took a chance, he gambled, and he got the maximum reward from it. Could have gone anywhere. And when your luck's in, it drops in there.
Flo hooks it on. Petrescu on the far post, and a chance for him. Excellent finish. Chelsea are level. Longboard here. Flo is target. Good header. Petrescu bursts onto it again. Zola well placed in the middle. Chelsea in front. Gianfranco Zola. Good move. Neville. Nice touch from Beckham. Then Keane to Neville. Giggs, Solskjaer to his left, and onside. 2-2.
Quite incredible this team, aren't they? They get a goal down, and what's the response? Within minutes to get themselves back level.
Beckham, first time ball for Neville. Got there at the second time. And Solskjaer has missed a golden opportunity in the final attack of the half to give Manchester United the lead. Giggs did well then, it looked as though he'd lost it. Well, that brought the crowd to life. Good challenge by Melchot. Cruyff there to pick up the pieces. And a glorious ball for Beckham. York, that's better. That's more like the champions.
That's a really good tackle. He just run out a lot. And look at the space that he's got, David Beckham. And that touch takes him a little bit wide to score himself. And there you see the advantage of going across the goalkeeper. It's a good save. But if you do that, and he does that, then you get a tap in if you're prepared to follow it in.
Well played. Very well played. Oh, the deflection took it away, and Flo denied a goal.
A fee of £80 million had been agreed. Fergie had been tracking the striker for years. Van was the man, or so we thought. But when the press conference began 2 hours late without him, we suddenly realised it was the beginning of the end.
As you will be aware, Ruud van Nistelrooy has had a knee injury, has not played for the last 6 to 8 weeks. A key focus of our test today has been on the injured knee, and we have been unable to complete all the necessary tests to our satisfaction today. I am pleased to inform you that we have concluded negotiations with both PSV and Ruud, and we will complete the transfer as soon as the tests have been satisfactorily concluded.
The press had the story, but not the one they'd expected. United just wanted to be sure their £18 million investment was in perfect condition.
As you know, it's a serious injury. As Steve has just mentioned, there is a cruciate knee ligament injury, and when you're talking about £18.5 million...
It should have been Ruud, but the picture of the empty chair told its own story. At the time, it just seemed a matter of time before the deal would conclude. Van Nistelrooy returned to Holland to regain his fitness, but unbelievably he broke down the very next day in training. United's cautious approach was suddenly more than justified. The title may have been wrapped up, but the passion was still burning. Nicky Butt and Micah Hyde squaring up in the sun at Watford. It was the spark a sleepy Saturday morning needed after United had gone 1-0 down.
Yeah, I think Graham Taylor said have done all right, Martin, for half an hour. I don't think United are anything like full throttle.
Well, we talked about the efficiency at free kicks. There's one for you. There's Palmer. It's safe enough in the circumstances. And Manchester United look for more with Solskjaer.
Sheringham. It's York again. Oh, that's handball by Solskjaer as it came off the frame of the goal.
Oh, what an effort that from Dwight York. That was a much cleaner strike than his goal. It's amazing, isn't it?
Ryan Giggs.
They waited, and suddenly Giggs puts in the run. Lovely little dink ball. He's playing for offside, Johnson, but he's the guilty party. He's the one who's too deep, far, far deeper than the others.
Mooney. Oh, great shot, matched by the save from Raymond van der Haar. Good challenge by Cox. He's not giving it up. Mooney. Smith's onside. He's in behind Manchester United. Tommy Smith for Watford. 2-2.
Well, individual errors have dogged this team all season, Martin. It's nothing to do with the team play, but yet again, the defender doesn't deal with the situation. It's a poor attempt from Page to play it back. It's a difficult ball. Full marks to Cruyff.
Neville made another darting run into the penalty area this time, but Beckham waiting on the corner. In towards Stan. Goal tucked away by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Inside 5 minutes, Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Well, the party's well and truly started. 2 headers, none of them defended very well by Tottenham. Oh, Solskjaer just takes a position in front of the goalkeeper. It's a brilliant position for strikers to take. If you're not going to get involved in attacking the first ball, then stand in front of the goalkeeper. Solskjaer does this. The ball's just nodded forward. It's almost a simple task of finding a net from 4 yards out.
Sheringham to Giggs. Solskjaer making his move. Giggs blasting it in. Walker too hot to hold initially, but it didn't get far away. Everson.
I think they've got a problem with Jaap Stam, Martin.
Oh, and in goes Armstrong. They've got a problem with Chris Armstrong. And Jaap Stam didn't make a challenge for the cross. Tottenham are level. Armstrong, who's been in splendid scoring form recently, has got a goal to treasure at Old Trafford. Solskjaer. Scholes. Giggs. It's a bit tight in there, but Giggs evades a couple of challenges, forces it through to Scholes, Sheringham near post. Solskjaer off the top of the bar and over.
Oh, what a chance. It's a great ball in from Giggs, but when this is set off, this is going to Walker's left. He just edges a fraction. And in fairness to Ian Walker, it's only a fraction. But then Beckham goes backing himself almost. What a wonderful finish. Wonderful strike.
Well, that's certainly worthy of Cantona, but really pure David Beckham. Giggs. Solskjaer. Sheringham gets there. And it's 3-1. And the goals keep on flowing for Manchester United, and Sheringham scores against Spurs. Special for him. Maybe a farewell goal for the Old Trafford fans for his time at the club.
Well, 3 minutes ago this was quite a good game, and it was close and it was hard to call. But in those moments, Manchester United have hit them with two superb finishes. Sol Campbell's very slow to react for me. He allows Teddy Sheringham to get away from him. It's only when Solskjaer wins the ball does Sol Campbell react. He almost gets there. Not quick enough, and what a finish from Sheringham.
Greening. Making it happen here, Jonathan Greening. Still trying to follow it up. Oh. Fireworks for an explosive team. Manchester United. They've retained their power in the Premiership with football's equivalent of an increased majority, a 13th championship in all.
And Sir Alex will tell you it just gets better and better, of that I'm sure.
Well, getting to the top is difficult enough. Staying there is much, much tougher. Every opponent tries to raise its game against Manchester United.
Well, the message is clear for everyone watching, Mark, and every Premiership side that fancies their chances. They've set the standard. You not only have to match it, you have to beat it.
Boom time United. Baby boom time. The kids are growing up and the future's secure. It's a team maturing together. A rare mixture of rich experience and precocious young talent. They never tire of winning. At Old Trafford, the kids are united.
Hendry to Merson. Oh, cheeky chip, and that took a spectacular stop from Van der Hout. Hendry. Oh, great run from Hendry, but the old-timer Denis Irwin got in the way. He's seen all those tricks before. Dublin comes in, and that's a fair header, and almost a calamity in the Manchester United defence. Philip Neville sparing the blushes of Manchester United. Cruyff. York fights. Sheringham scores! Could be his last Manchester United goal. And he took that goal with the simplicity and the confidence that he has in his 16-year professional career in English football. Taylor pushes the ball from right. Nick York's in there. He gets a header! Oh, and the goalkeeper again hardly saw it.
Is it your last goal for Manchester United? Is it your last game for Manchester United?
We don't know that yet.
Really?
No.
What's it depending on?
Well, the situation is my contract runs out on June the 30th, and just weighing up options of what to do, really. It's not just about football. It's about, what is about football, it's about playing football. And a lot of other things, really. It's not just one thing. So I've got to weigh up the pros and cons about everything, really.
What chances that you may play again for United?
There's a chance. Yeah, of course there is.
I've had a chat with him. He knows how we feel about it. The players want him to stay. My staff want him to stay, and the supporters want him to stay, and the directors want him to stay. So really, I'm hopeful he'll sign.
And Teddy signed on after signing off with the winner at Villa, which incidentally set 4 Premiership records. Most points, most goals, an 18-point winning margin and 11 straight victories. Follow that.